Hi guys, my name is Mayank and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this particular video, I want to talk about my reading process, how I read non-fiction books and how I try to remember what I have read and implement them in my life. Um, Previously, a few years back, when I used to read non-fiction books, I used to read them, but then I realized that I'm not able to remember and retain most of the things in my life. So now I have kind of devised a process, and that's what I'll talk about in this video. So first of all, I want to say that whenever I start reading a non-fiction book, I have this thing in my mind that I don't try to implement or understand each and everything that has been written in the book. I have always felt that a non-fiction book is written by an author who has his own perspective and he has written the book as per his requirements, and not necessarily all of the things that he has mentioned in the book might apply to your life. So it's not necessary to understand and retain each and everything from the book. You can pick and choose the ideas which you relate to. So the first step is, I think, starting from the basics. I think you at least need to keep a record of the books that you read. This is a very simple way by which you can remember the books that you have read in this year and even the past year. So you need to keep a record of them. I think one of the best websites to keep a record is Goodreads, which has all of the books which have ever been written. You can also rate the books and review the books on this website. So definitely you must check it out. Even if you do not track it on Goodreads, I think you need to maintain a kind of separate notebook, or you can create a Notion page for yourself. The next thing that I do is, I always start reading non-fiction books on my Kindle. So I always have it downloaded on my Kindle, and whenever I'm reading a non-fiction book on a Kindle, I'm highlighting like crazy. I am highlighting even a sentence which seems remotely useful to me, because the first process in reading the book is trying to retain all of the things which seem useful to you. In a non-fiction book, there is a lot of fluff, which essentially means points that are not important or points that are repeated over and over again. So you don't want to keep those with you, but yes, the ideas which do relate to you and you feel you can apply in your life, you should highlight so that you can come back in future reference. Once I have highlighted all of the things which seem useful to me, at the end of the book, there is a very good feature in Kindle by which you can export these highlights into a PDF, and you can download that PDF for future reference, which only contains the highlighted sentences and paragraphs. Now, at the end of the book, when I finish reading the book, there is one question which I ask myself. The expectation which I had when I started reading the book, was that fulfilled? Did I learn anything from the book? And even if I have learned a small thing from the book, I try to retain that, and then I try to understand how I can use this book in my life for future reference. And if the book seems useful to me, the next step that I do is I create a calendar event. What I do is, a couple of months down the line or 3 months down the line, I add a calendar event to go back to all of the highlights which I have made on my Kindle. For example, I have read this book, amazing book, The Psychology of Money. Now, at the end of the book, I felt that yes, the book was useful to me and I would like to retain a few of the things from the book. I set a calendar event exactly 2 or 3 months down the line. I go back to the highlighted points which I have done, and I again ask myself if I have been able to apply any of these things in my life. If yes, then I feel that yes, the book has stayed with me. And if the book has stayed with me, I add this book to my reread list. It is a list that I have started maintaining. It is a list of the books which I feel have had a certain impact on my life, and those books I try to go back to them. As I have mentioned, rereading. In case of non-fiction books, I feel it is practically impossible to understand each and everything at one read. You need to read it 2 times, 3 times, probably, then you will get the most out of it. Once I have added these books to my read list, I make sure to read them at least once every year. I want to mention that Atomic Habits is a book which I had read last year. I read it again this year, and I was able to learn so many new things which I did not get on the first read. This is a point which even Naval Ravikant has mentioned, that you don't need to read all the books in the world because it is practically impossible to do it. But if there is a book which relates to you, if there is a book which is applicable to your life and you find it useful, you should read over and over again, because you will learn new things every time you read it. You will also have grown with age and would have become wiser. You would understand more things and understand things with a different perspective now. So these were the pointers, and these were the ways that I read non-fiction books, and I keep track of them and I try to retain them in my life. Let me know how you found it, and let me know of your reading process of non-fiction books in the comment section. And that's all I had for this video. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for watching.